Hello everyone, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. I am excited to be back for episode 3, and today our main objective was to upgrade our tools even farther by getting into metallurgy, and on top of that we did a few other quests to help further our progress. Now, before we move on to the video, I just want to say real quick that I'm going to start streaming in between episode progress on both Twitch and YouTube. So stay tuned for that and check the description for both channels. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the episode. Okay, so I think today we need to focus on finally getting ores and getting out of the Stone Age, because we've been stuck in the Stone Age for, well, this entire run, and I think it's time to get upgraded. So to get an iron pickaxe head, it just wants 256 stone. That's 4 stacks already. Oh, and by the way, I am just going to say I am working on a project, which might not be this episode, but probably next, is going to be down there. I've obviously removed the village and started clearing it out. One big thing is that this is getting moved, because 1, it's ugly, and for 2, mobs keep spawning under here, and I don't feel like just wasting torches. Plus, it's kind of ugly sitting here, and I want to work on the base a little more. And that is also probably going to be the majority of next episode, is working on this base, because we're starting to move into a point where storage is getting a lot more bulkier, and this episode should help us get more storage options, because right now we're just limited to chests. I was able to get these 4 drawers thanks to the slabs I got from tearing down the village. But aside from that, to deck that, get the iron pickaxe, and I think I'm going to go with the iron axe head instead of the loot bag this time, just because that's very... There it is. Okay, so I had to make sure that the tool was fully repaired before I could switch it out. So there we go. Now we have an iron pickaxe, and let's do the same with the axe. And now we have an iron hatchet. And I am going to grab another mob head. Let me sleep real quick, so that we don't have to worry about mobs coming up on us. And actually, I want to test. Can I put a player head on? I don't think I can, but it's worth a try. And if you're wondering what the mob head does, is it increases... Oh. Applicable... Oh. Okay, never mind. I can use the skeleton head, though. Or I might be able to use the creeper head. So that'll put me up to 10. And that'll put me up to 10. Okay, so I'm just going to use that one. And I'll use the creeper head for when we get a better pickaxe, is my understanding there. Alrighty, so now... what's next? A lot of iron. So we need to find ore veins, and I believe that's F9 gives me... yeah, GT ore veins. So, for one, we have 2 creepers right here, but we also have ore veins right here. Oh, crap. That's not good. Ow? What was that? I have no clue. Oh, those are concussion creepers. I don't know what they do, and I don't plan on finding out. Okay, so this is the middle of an ore vein right here. So let's dig down to find out what it is. Oh, that's what that is. A ninja skeleton. I was like, what keeps attacking me? Ooh, small coal ore. Heck yeah. I hear bones racketing. That's gonna be down there, yeah. Ooh, and there's a piece of lava. There's just more coal ore. You can always use coal, because coal coke smelts better than coal, and now that we have the blast furnaces, we are able to get that type of stuff. So now the question is, what type of ore vein is this going to be? And I know the coal doesn't the small piles don't necessarily mean that is what type of vein it is, but this might be a coal vein, and if it is, I already know where a coal vein is, so that's actually going to be nice to know where 2 coal veins are. And actually, I do believe that is one of my quests is to get, yeah, I want to say that's pronounced lignite coal, but it might be lignite. If anyone knows the correct pronunciation on that, feel free to let me know. That is going to be one thing, is with all these ores, the names are so beyond my understanding of pronunciation that it's just gonna... I'm gonna butcher the names, period. Alrighty. What Y level are we at? We are at 84, so... whichever ore vein it is should be coming up soon. Yep, there it is. It is a coal and lignite vein. So that's cool because that's a coal vein close to the base. But we really need to find an iron vein for my pickaxe breaks. And there's raw lignite coal. And how much does the quest need? 16? That's not terrible. And I also realized I need to light up this so that mobs don't spawn. Wow, all this jumping really using up some hunger. That's for sure. Good thing we got the food situated first/second day. Also, I completely forgot to add that between episodes I did get 4 more coke ovens. So, just in case y'all saw that and were like, wait, that's a little more than last episode. Yes, it is. I did in fact go back and get more. Just to be able to burn up charcoal quicker. And that is why in this chest I have almost 5 stacks of charcoal. Okay, I don't really care for that. I believe I have some iron in here. Can I? Okay, so I can use this to repair my pickaxe per need be. I don't think I'm gonna need my... yeah, I'm not gonna need the flint on me for right now. I have like no inventory space. Yeah. I don't need those. I'm just gonna have shit all over the base. And so what? Okay, so every 3 chunks there is an ore vein. So there's an ore vein right there, but now if I go here, there's an ore vein down there. So pretty much I'm just gonna have to go along and find out what every ore vein is. And if I do this, I can figure out where all the ore veins are. Apparently we have a gold magnetite, vanadium magnetite. Oh, that's cool. That's actually not bad because that's good for iron. So now just dig down right here and figure out which ore vein we have down here. Yeah, it's a coal vein. And there it is. It's just another coal vein. Well, it's not terrible. More coal for when we need it. Is it coal and lignite? Yeah, it is. That's another one right next to it. And there went the iron pickaxe. Try not to waste our iron. Even though... I don't know how much iron we'd be able to get from all this. If any. It is. Oh, fun, gravel. Small iron ore, not bad. Still haven't gotten to the bottom of this ore vein. Hopefully we're close. Oh, and there it is. It is a chalcopyrite, iron, and pyrite and copper ore vein. Not bad, not bad. Sounds pretty good, if you ask me. Because that's full on iron. And I'm going to assume that's going to go into this iron ore? No, not that one. Oh, pyrite and chalcopyrite and raw iron ore. That is the copper ore section. So I guess let's gather up the 32 of each and the 16 copper. See where that leaves us. And that should be copper ore quest completed. And that should be, yep, that is the end of that. I think I'm going to get the footlong for this, because I've opened so many of those basic loot bags. Are those the same loot bags that came from this? I don't know. Let's see. Where do you get to choose loot bags at? Yeah, basic Stone Age. I've opened so many of those loot bags, I don't even think they're worth it anymore. But now let's... Oh, it is nighttime, so I'm going to get down here and sleep really quick. And there are monsters nearby. That must have meant that was near a cave. Alrighty. And my inventory is completely full with cobblestone and ores. And this vein is still plentiful. Hello? So we can come back at any time to get copper and a little bit of iron, it seems. Very minimal iron. Even though I think compared to copper, I might have more iron, so I don't know. I might be wrong, that might have been really good for iron. Let's see. How far away was I from the base? Because I've been down there so long, I already forgot. Now, I'm going to turn the HUD off, and we're going to head back to the base. And is that a witch? Gross. Gave me hunger? Oh, there it is. Like, what a... Oh. What? Oh, I guess Plutonian must have died down here. How did he die in a... You know, I'm not gonna question. That's for him to figure out. And for anyone who's wondering why Plutonia hasn't been in the last two episodes, well, this one and the last one, was he's been sick, so he's currently recovering, and hopefully will be back with us soon, rather than later. Alrighty, now that our inventory's cleared up, let's dump a bunch of this stuff out. Okay, I don't have inventory room for it. I don't know, whatever. Let's see. You need the iron smelted up. That's not what I wanted to smelt up. Neither is that. And let's get some of the copper smelted up. I probably should get more furnaces and smelt most of this up. The oil sands doesn't need to be smelted up. Let's see, what can be smelted up? The copper dust. Stone dust I don't care for. Coal dust can. Lignite coal dust, magnetite dust, zinc ore, crushed coal ore. Lignite and coal ore. I'm going to smelt all this up, and then we'll see where we lay quest-wise from there. Because I think getting iron's obviously the next quest, but we also do want to get up into bronze and bronze tools. Only problem with that is we're going to need to set up a smeltery, and that is a little rough to do, and I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of view mode so that we can see what we actually have access to. We've got this, so let's get the footlong and the explorer tokens. That's pretty good food. I'll save it for later. Oh, look at that. Finally collecting up iron and copper. How about that? And actually, yeah, I needed 48 copper anyways. And we'll get zucchini bread. Trying to get... Alrighty, cool. Now we have basic ores unlocked. About time. That's what I have to say. Now let's get into making the tools we need, which is our next most important quest. Or those 5 tools, I think is what it is. Let's get some... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna... Wait, I think I had a stack of planks somewhere. Oh, yeah, plenty. Let's get a bunch of sticks and craft this up. So for a hammer, it's just a stick and 6. Okay, cool. So now we have a hammer. A wrench is like a shield, but with a hammer in the middle. So now we have a wrench. A file is 2 plates. And if I remember, yeah, plates is like that. It's expensive, but I believe it gets cheaper later on in the game. Okay, so there's a file. So now we need the screwdriver. That requires 2 rods, which is a file, and 2 of those. Was it like that? It's a screwdriver? Yeah, there we go. So now we have the screwdriver, and now all we need is the saw, which saw blade is 2 ingots and a file? Wait, was that not what it just was? Ow, it's probably gonna be 2 plates. Yep, there it is. And now I'll just put that on a stick, and boom! We have gotten tools. And now, with tools, we have unlocked GregTech in its entirety, I would like to assume. I don't want to say assume, but like, when it comes to progressing a lot quicker, we now are able to get storage options, like a better crafting table, which is the crafting stations, what we did luckily get from the village. And I'm just getting a whole butt ton of food. And then compact storage. Now we need like copper. Now we can get copper chests, which are expensive. Double copper plates. Okay. And then iron chests, which are also very expensive. And gold. Great. And then obviously oak drawers, which, as I've shown, gardeners wants us to get a mattock, which I assume is farming, so okay. And then here we go. Oh, sheep hairdresser. For a pair of shears. And I can choose any reward. Or a steam age loot bag. I can do that. Hold up. For 2 iron plates, we need that. For an iron screw, we need 2 of those, which we need 1 of those for. I already have sticks, yeah. Actually, wait, can't I... What is it? Shift C to autocraft? Or Control C? I don't know. There is an autocraft. Shift C. Missing items. We need the... Oh, okay, so that's how you do that. Okay. You have to have all of these items beforehand. Now if I do Shift C. we're missing another bolt. Oh, I didn't finish crafting the bolt. And there we go. Now it auto-crafts a pair of shears. It really didn't... Oh. Up there it goes. Sheep hairdresser. Let's get the Steam Age loot bag. Just to see what we can get. Cashew butter. Yum. That matters right now, of course. Alrighty, animal farms. Ooh. Finest cuts of meat. The knife is not going to work for slaughtering the hundreds of animals you will need for food materials. I mean, to stop at explosions and kill cows much faster, not to mention it's looting on it. Oh, interesting. A butchery knife. We can make one of those. I just need to find the iron butchery knife. There it is. And now we do that. So all we need is a grinder. I always need to remember to shift that. Okay, so we need 4 of those. And we need 1 rod. And now shift C. Now we have a butchery knife. And we get a bunch of random items. How about that? I have no storage. Now you'll see what the problem is here. We don't have storage, period. And this is the part that I have been waiting for. Tanned leather. We need 4 leather, 4 string, and a woven cotton. So I know we need string, the 4 leather, which I feel like we have more leather somewhere, and hopefully we do. And then I think, what else did it say we needed? We needed the woven cotton, which is going, or the woven leather. I don't want to like mispronounce that, but like bound leather, and we do need a drying rack. Now I do have planks in here still, so to make this, I need that. Oh, I have that. And now we have 1 piece of bound leather. Now we need to make this thing. For that we need 2 wooden screws. There's the 2 wooden screws, and now we need the wooden planks, which... And so we needed 3. And, boom. Now we have a drying rack, and I'm just going to put that right there for right now. To put that on. And we have a bunch of ores sitting in here still. Cool. And I guess I don't know how many seconds, but it's already at 3%. So whenever that's dried, we're going to get 1 tanned leather. Alrighty. While waiting for the bound leather to, I guess, dry, I did a few quests. I did this better storage barrel chests, which are like drawers, but they're barrels instead. What else did I do? I did the copper chest. I started working on the iron chest, but am 1 iron short from finishing it. I did the drawer chest, which used way too much wood. And yeah, so that should give us 3 bound leather. I did get another 2 just because I knew we would need more. And actually that gives me another iron so that I can go finish. Go in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that. And finish up the iron chests. That is once I actually craft the chests themselves. That's 2 iron chests. And just to show like how good those are, that's that compared to like a regular chest. like an extra 3 rows. The same size as a double chest, but in one chest. Now, let's see. I'm going to take the 2 iron out of that, or the iron out of that, because I did, in fact, use all my iron on that quest. Now, the one thing that I've been waiting for has been the sleeping bag. So, we're going to craft it. Because now, with the sleeping bag, and that is why I got another 2 tanned leather, we can sleep wherever, whenever, well, I say whenever, but whenever it's nighttime, without having to carry a bed around and not risk resetting my spawn point. So that is going to make my life 10 times easier when out mining for ores. Now, I do also want to look at what the other things requires, because I think I saw backpacks in there before I closed out of the menu. So once I put all this stuff away, clear my inventory out, getting a little crowded, and that's GregTech. We can also get a saddle, so that will be nice to have a horse. And a saddle is really cheap. We can easily get that. A backpack. A digger's backpack or a miner's backpack. I don't know what the difference is. But a miner's backpack will hold resources. So I think this is going to be our last objective for today. So we're going to need 4 leather aside from 1 bound leather, which is going to be string and cotton. Bound leather, we need the cotton. Now we have to set this to dry and wait a little while. And we are already running out of leather again, which kind of sucks. And then we need 2 iron, and I'll put my ores in one of these things, yeah. 2 iron, and the 2 woven cotton, which I just put away all my cotton and string without even looking. What did it say? I needed 2. Yep. And now I believe once we get that 1 tanned leather, we'll be ready to craft a backpack, and that will be a suitable place to end today's episode, I feel. Okay, so now that the tanned leather is done, let's make this darn backpack. Miner's backpack, and boom. So I believe while we were in the mines, it will pick up any cobblestone. Or that might be the diggers. This might just pick up dirt. I am going to assume it picks up cobblestone. We can just test it. No. Cobblestone does not go in there. But I assume if I go in here and get like the impure, yeah, that will go into the backpack. Does it automatically go in? Yes. So any ores that we mine will go into this backpack. And that is why when we get the digger's backpack, it will pick up all the cobblestone and dirt that we mine up. So yeah, we got a lot of progress done, and this is very crucial for expanding and I guess just progressing, because next episode, safe to say, we're going to get into machinery. And once we do that, it's going to be pretty cool. Just for a little sneak peek, this is what will be coming next episode. So, yeah, let's prepare for that. Well, we got a lot done today, and I'm pretty happy, so that's a pretty safe place to end it off for today. Well, that is going to be a wrap for today. I feel pretty confident on where we're leading off, and, well, get ready for next episode, because the progression is only just beginning. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you in the next one.